Hello, Franz here, Clay Manufacturing. We are going to go over the modeling for the Wasabi. Looks extremely grainy in these images, but this is a speed wrench. This is only side one. And check it out. This is the real Wasabi that it's named after. She did not like that. We're going over the CAD. I'll show you right now. Let's share the screen, get my face off of here. This is kind of what we're going for at the end of it, is we want to get to the computer aided machining. That's going to be in a separate video. Before we do that, we need to create this model. And so this is to machine the top side of it. I'm showing you the end goal after I get all these videos put out there. And this is it with the soft jaws to do the other side. And I just made some blank soft jaws last night. So this is the part that we are making. This is my print. My print can be found here on Clay Manufacturing. Let's go to home on Clay-Manufacturing. You don't want to buy it, right? You're trying to be cheap. So we want to make it. Left mouse click, and I'll have my parts on here. I'm currently working on Wasabi and cheese. I do have the print there, and I'm making the video for the CAD tutorial right now. That's where you can find it. We can get off of here. Let me get that situated. And then I'll also show you, this is what the model looks like. This is the CAD portion of it. And I've also created a tool pass, which got us the top portion machined out. And the next thing I'm going to have videos for after this video is we're going to obviously do the cam, but how to create soft jaws, how to project our geometry, create soft jaws, place our part in there using joints, and then we are going to cut off the remaining stock on the back side and cut in the geometry. So that's the goal over the course of my videos. But right now, we got to figure out how to draw my Wasabi. I opened up a new design file, and the number one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to save it, and we'll say this is called the Wasabi Speed Wrench video demo. I just had a video demo too, which screwed up. If you see it over here, we'll say save. Maybe we'll save. Fusion's been a little laggy right now, and it's possible it might crash. It's saving. We're going to pretend it works. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to create a component. Whenever you're doing anything more than one part, you want to have components. So that way you can do your joints, and that way your bodies, origin, and sketches are all contained within the individual components. I'll right click and say new component. We'll just call this the speed arm, because eventually I'm going to have a handle that goes on here. There's going to be a bearing in it. There's going to be a little 1/4 screw that goes through there. We're getting there, but not yet. We got to learn how to model. So this is going to be called the speed arm. Speed arm. Okay. And this view has the most detail. I like to use that as my top. Our spindle is going to be coming straight down from above. So I want to cut as much as I can from this orientation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the polygons first with these circles around it. And the circles and polygons share the same center point. And these are 0.755. So the hex handle that they slip around is a little under 750. So I made it 755, and it works great on your standard Kurt style vices. With that said, I'll click back over here. I'm going to create the polygon, and I'll do my top plane on my view cube, and I'll go sketch, and then it says, all right, now which plane? And since I'm already square based from my view cube click, I will go left mouse click. Create polygon, circumscribed polygon. I will click the origin to constrain it, and I'll just drag off. And you see it's got a number, and I'm going to call it the radius. It's not the total distance, it's half the distance. So I'm going to go 0.755, divide 2, and then enter. And if you look, this thing is not fixed in space, and I want the top of the polygons to be horizontal. We'll get there. Then I'll create another polygon. I'll go create, I'll go polygon, circumscribe polygon. And I'm purposely going to click off the center line of this one. I'll do the same thing, 0.755, divide 2, enter. Now I got two whacked out polygons on here, and that's an easy fix. I'll go to my constraints, and I'll do horizontal vertical constraint, left mouse click, and I will click right here. Boom, that one is dialed. So that's fully constrained. It's all black. This is still blue, unconstrained. I'll click on there. Okay, it made it constrained, but it's not black. What I could do next, since I still have my constraint tool active, I'll click on that center point, and then I'll click on the center point here. All right, this top part turned constrained, but these ones can still move if I pull on them. I need to give it a dimension from here to here. If we look at my drawing, it is 2.150. I'll go either D for dimension or click up here. I'll click on the center point, drag up, left mouse click, and then 2.15, and I'll hit enter. Now it's fully constrained. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these outside circles. And both of them have a diameter of 1.250. I'll go up here to circle, click on my center point, and I'll just type in 1.25, enter. I'll hit C on my keyboard or come up here, and I'll just go 1.25, enter. Let's see, the next one I'm going to attack is I want to do this circle right here. This is 1 inch, and then I'm just going to connect these lines from kind of circle to circle. So I'll go up here, I'll do circle again. I'll click here, I'll type in 1.0, enter, and I will constrain this one to this center point horizontally. So I'll go click and click. And now I need to give it a dimension. I could do the math. I could take this and subtract that, which should be 2.15. Or I can dimension from this center point to here at 4.3. I'll do that because I don't like math. It's too hard for me. Let's go dimension, go click, click, and I said 4.3. Enter. And why? No, I'm not done yet. I'm going to just draw some lines on here and connect them. So you could hit L for line or come up here, and I'll purposely make them so they're not tangent. I'm just kind of dragging. I'm going to go from here to here, and then from here to here. Let's come up here to my tangent tool. I'm going to click on my circle, and now I'll click on the line. I'm going to click on the circle, and now the line. I'll click on the circle, my line. Circle, line. Circle, line. Circle, line. Yeah, now we're getting it. Circle, line. This would be quite the song. Circle and line. Now those are all tangent. All these are constrained. That's looking pretty good for right now. These guys, if we see right here, there's a web. I should probably actually include the hidden features here. I didn't. But these guys are right here in the section view, and they go in 50 thou on each side. And I'll do that from a different face. This thickness of the web is 375, and the thickness of these 3 stands is 625. I'm going to go over to my file. So we're going to say Finish Sketch. And while I'm here, I'm going to click on my little component, my speed arm. I'll drop down my sketch. And for my life later, if I have a lot of sketches, I want to make it simpler. So I'll click on here, one more click, and we'll say Profile. Profile, can I do an and sign? And polygons. So that way, later, if I've got a bunch of sketches, it's way easier to organize or find what I need to edit. And we're not done here. So when I make a part like this, I need to drill some corner holes to make reliefs because I can't really easily make a square corner on a mill. I've got mainly round cutters. What I have included in my drawing is we have 12 drill holes with a radius. It rounded it to 0.063. It's really, the radius is 0.0625, which is for an 1/8 inch diameter drill. So we're going to drill out each corner for reliefs. Now, I could have just placed a 0.125 circle. Let's see, let's go here. I'm going to go right click. We'll say edit sketch. So I just went to my sketch. I did right click and edit. So now I'm back in sketch mode. I could have went create and then just did a 0.125 inch circle right here. But you see how ugly that will be? I'll have a big, huge amount of material removed in the corner. So what we're going to do is originally I made an offset polygon of 50 thou, and we use that for the center point of my 0.125 diameter circle. And if you don't follow me, I'll show you real quick. Let's go back to here. I'm going to create an offset of this polygon. Let's delete this circle first. Let's go to offset. And I'm going to come over here to line type. I'm going to go construction. And now it tells me what I want to select. So I'm going to click on here. And it immediately goes positive. I want to go negative. So I'll say negative 0.05. Enter. And you say, Franzi, where did you get that? I got that value back on my sketch right here. That's the center point location of these little 1/8 inch circles, drill holes. Let's go back over. We're going to do the same thing on this one. I'll go offset. We'll click on here. We'll drag in and we'll say negative 0.05. Enter. Beautiful. Now I'm going to get rid of I'm just going to click off of that of my construction. I don't need construction lines. I'm going to place some circles. I'll come up here, go circle, and I'll just click on here and define it as a 0.125 diameter. Enter. And I'm going to hit C on my keyboard. And what did I do wrong? The whole point of doing that offset was to use that as my center point. Let's go back. I'll select what I don't want, which is that circle. I'm going to go delete. I'm going to grab my circle tool again, come right here, and now I'll define 0.125 again. And you see how it just barely goes in here. So, because I'm just making a relief because I can't make this sharp angle with the tools I have available. Yeah, you can do broaching on a mill. I know I'm going to get some comments saying, well, technically you can. Yeah, you can. But I don't have that capacity. I'm going to go through and I'm going to plop a lot of circles on here. And I don't even care their diameter right now. That's how wild I am. But I do want them all a 0.125 diameter. So I'm going to come up here and go diameter. And I'm going to click on here, drag off. And you see it's got this value. I want to make it the same as this one. So I'll just go click and then enter. And I'm going to do that on every single one because I want them all driven off of this one. So in case you don't have an 1/8 inch drill, so you got a 160 drill, you can go up there and just update that one and it'll update all. I'm just going click and then enter. Click, drag off, click once, click on the value, and you see the D12, then enter. And enter. I could, if I wanted to, I could make a mirror line here and mirror these over here. We're just going to go this nice slow way because this is real basic stuff. So it means you're probably new to Fusion or just trying to make fun of me. That's fine too, 0.125. We're going to create some circles and I'm just going to shortcut it. I'm hitting C on my keyboard and we're just plopping those things in. There's lots of ways to do stuff in Fusion. I'm just showing you a way. Going to go get my dimension, Same thing as before. Oopsies, wrong one. Escape. D for dimension. Oh no, get off of there. D for dimension. And then enter. Drag off, click my dimension, enter. Now we're looking good. The next thing I can do is we can say finish sketch and we can start extruding. The thickness of that web is 375. The thickness of these stands, what I'm calling them, is 0.625. Let's do the extrude. Let's do these webs first. And I like to rotate it. I do symmetric. I model about the origin to make mirroring easier. Let's go whole length. Distance is 0.375. 0.375. And I'll just say okay. And you're like, whoa, that is a weird looking speed wrench. No fear. We'll turn our sketch back on. We can hit E for extrude or come up here and click on there. And we'll go click, and you see it automatically selects what I want it to. You want to make sure that this is not selected. If it is, you can click on it to deselect it. But that got it what I want, because I want those little reliefs to mimic what I'm going to do with a drill bit. Click on this one, double check, looking beautiful. Distant, let's go symmetric, whole length, and this is 0.625, so that's 5/8 of an inch. And I'll say okay. And check it out. Did I or did I not purposely forget something? He forgot it. It was not on purpose. So how do I fix that though? This is a good learning experience. Right click, I go down there to my design history, and I'm going to go to edit feature. And right here for the profiles, let's just click on that one too. Bada bing, bada boom, done. And I'll go okay. Now these sketches are annoying me, so I'm just going to hide that sketch. We're starting to look like something. Let's do save so we don't lose our data. Next, I need to make these cute little cavities here, these cute little kind of pockets. And I need to put a threaded hole right here in the center point. And these pockets, these have a perimeter of 150 around here, and they have a radius of 0.125. Let's go over here. I'm just going to hover. I'm going to do my threaded hole. I'm going to hover, right click, say create sketch. I'm just going to drop a point. I'll go create, and we'll do point. And you see when I get to the center how it turns to a circle. So when I'm locked on, and I'll just do one mouse click, and I'll say finish sketch. Let's go to hole, and I'll click on that point, and yours might come up a big value. It might look all huge. So the first thing I'll do is I'll try to come to this diameter and make it look like something normal. This side, I already did a practice one, so that's why I'm already at 0.25. So if you're having issues, if you can't populate that box, come here to size, go to 0.25. We're doing a 1/4 20. And it's going to be a 2B. This depth on my print is 0.4. I don't like to do modeled threads because it usually creates a problem or an annoyance when I'm selecting features in the CAM environment. So a lot of times I just elect to not model it. It'll show kind of a half-hearted model. I'll say okay. You'll see it has kind of like a drawing, but when you select it, it's just one face. It's not a bunch of weird thread geometry in there. And that came out nice. We look at my print. So this would be a drill hole. I think I actually do use a 0.201 drill. And I go down 400 with a 1/4 20. In my CAM, I think I drill it a little bit deeper, and then I use my tap, and I go like -395. But right now we're modeling it. I can kind of tweak it in my CAM environment. Now let's make these pockets. On this one, when I hover over it, I'm going to right click on that surface and say create sketch. zoom in, I'll use this baby right here. We'll go click. I'm going to see if I can do, no, it's not. I might have to do two separate ones. I'm going to drag it in. On my print, it said 0.15, so I'll say negative 0.15, enter. Let's try to do offset now. Yeah, it's not kind of recognizing this geometry right now, so let's say cancel. Let's say finish sketch. What is this one? So this one is threaded hole sketch. I'll just call this left pocket. And again, this, when you name your sketches, it will make it much easier later on to edit them. I used to not do it, but my friend Phil, he's like, hey, you should probably do this. So I was like, that is a very good idea. So I'm doing that now. So now you see, I'm still in the solid modeling. I'm going to right click on this surface and I want to say create sketch. And if you can't, it probably means you have a sketch that's active over here. So go and hide all the other sketches except the one you're creating. And we'll do the same thing, offset. We'll go negative 0.15, enter. Say finish sketch. And I'll name that one right pocket, enter. Let's do extrude. We'll come up here, extrude, click, click. How deep? We're going to go negative. I'm going to go negative 0.05. And if you notice, this then changes to cut. We'll say OK. How did I know that? It's right here. This is a section view. This B is where we cut the part in half, and you can see this inside detail. I'm going to do save so I don't lose any data. And we'll do, since we like mirrors, we're going to turn my origin on. So you see, we modeled around the origin, and this is when it comes in handy. Instead of doing this whole sketch thing on the back and extruding, we're going to do this. We're going to go create, mirror, left mouse click, and I want to mirror features. So I'll just go select, and it did both of them. And then now I want to select a mirror plane. So I'll click on here, and I'll click this vertical plane that you see right here. It's this guy. Not that, but this one. And it mirrored about that origin, that plane. Okay, cool. So now we got some goofy looking pockets. Let's see what our radius is. It says my radius is 125. Let's go back here. We'll go fillet. And I'm just going to come in and grab these guys. I'm running out of voice. Not much to say right now. I'm just kind of sneaking in and grabbing these. And you notice I am selecting through the part. I'm just going to try to grab both sides. If you select the wrong edge, just select it again and it'll just click it again and it'll deselect it. Okay, now I'm going to type in, since this right here, it wants me to specify the radius value, so I'll say 0.125 per my print, and then I'll just say enter. Now I have that geometry. So on my old versions, I used to just leave it like this with a square end mill, and I'd leave this like a square, but you get a lot of goop built up in there. So we're doing some blending with an 1/8 inch ball end mill. Yeah, you can't see really well, but I did blending in here. And if we look at my print, this is a little harder to see. So this radius in here is 0.063. It's really 0.0625, half of my 1/8 inch ball end mill we're going to use. And same with up here. This radius is defined. There's 8 of them at the same value. Let's go over. This should be easy. So let's go to my fillet tool. And I'm just going to go click, click. I'm going to get all these suckers. Oops, look at that. I selected the wrong one. Just click it again and it deselects. And then I want to get the inside. I'm going to get that one, and we'll roll it over and do the same thing. Oopsies, he almost forgot that one and that one. So for the value, I'm going to say 0.0625. If you say 0.063, it'll be all right, but I know it's going to be that exact value. Say enter. Let's see. I'm going to save it. We're going to look at my print, make sure I didn't miss anything. We have our threaded hold. We have these holes, the relief holes. We have these pockets at 50 thou. We have the radii that go around the bottom of the pockets and over here for these kind of stands. And if you notice, there's a little flat. Well, this is part of the radius there and there. That's how it should look. If it doesn't, it means when we sketched out the profile, how if you didn't do the tangent, or maybe you did a tangent different, that would be where the problem arises from. But this looks good. So this concludes the CAD video. Later, I'll probably show us when we're machining the backside. I'll probably add my logo on here and show you how to do that. But this is what we have. We have our design file. Saved a completely new design file called the Wasabi. So this whole project is the Wasabi. And within it, I created the component, which is the speed arm, which is this specific component of it. And within your component, you have its own origin, its own bodies. It should be one body because it was all joined together. And then you have all your individual sketches associated with that body. And what I'm now starting to do is labeling those individual sketches to make my life easier. Because if I needed to go and edit, let's say my threaded hole, I could be like, oh shoot, was it on this sketch? I'd have to go edit sketch and look. It just makes it a little easier when I have these things labeled. And down here too, if you need on the design history, if say you extruded this wrong or a different distance, or you want to make it thinner or thicker, or you want to change your radii, you can come down here and just right click, edit, and change those values. It's pretty easy to do. And then I typically don't model threads because it makes my cam more annoying. And also I don't typically model chamfers because it makes selecting heights and edges a lot more annoying too, because I will hit these tops with a chamfer, about a 5 or 10 thou chamfer in the actual cam. So this is the part. I hope this helped, and it went a little long. I hope I did something of value in this video. Have a good one. Have a great week. Have a great year. It's getting close to January 1st, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you guys. Bye.